Hey all, morning and good evening as per time zone. My name is Rahul Chaudhary and we'll be starting the session. Let me see who all are joined. We have quite a good number of people. We'll be starting in few minutes. I'll share my screen. Before we start the class, I would like to know who all are freshers here, completely from non-IT background. Those who are freshers, non-IT background, just raise your hand. How many of us are from non-IT background? Yeah. I'd like to know those who are from non-IT background. Please raise your hand. Thank you.
Rahul, I would like to check with everyone. Are you guys able to hear us? Could you please unmute your mic and respond so that we can know that you're able to hear?
They are good. Yeah. Debraut and Reza, Avinash, Ambala. Okay. So those who are from non-IT, please raise your hand. Completely non-IT professional, they are not aware of anything like what is server, what is machines, what is coding. Just raise your hand. Okay. Cool. Let me quickly share my screen. So we have 5. Thank you. So yeah, you can down your hand, lower down your hand now. No problem. I will quickly share my screen. So guys, are you? I hope you all are able to see my screen. So first of all, welcome to LWPLABS. Okay, what is LWPLABS? It's learnwithprojectlabs.com. Okay, so we do have we are all IT professionals here who started this company, keeping in mind that we will be teaching. We'll try to revolutionize the style of teaching whatever we used to get. Okay, so I have faced a lot of problem while I was going for training, obviously, and then I understood, and then again I have a lot of experience in training. I found that while training, okay, while we train people, we take a lot of things um, um, and assumptions that, okay, people know this thing. So here in our class, we are not going to assume that you will be knowing previously any coding language or anything you are from an IT background. Okay, so we'll come to those things later, but then just to explain you how did we started this company. So with my training experience, I understand that this topic oriented training is not a good style of training. Okay, like we firmly believe that we should learn with the help of projects, like when we go after we complete our college. Okay, how we go to the company and then company give us some projects and we implement those projects, right? Similarly here in our company, all the courses whatever we have very few courses which we have launched yet. Why? Because not everything we can convert into project oriented, but then whatever we can, we have launched it. And this particular course which you are attending now, which is DevOps, with the help of infrastructure automation and Python automation scripting. Okay, so this particular course we have converted into project based. So when we say project based, okay, it means that think like you have joined a company, there will be some projects aligned to you which you have to complete, and those projects we have designed that will help you to create your resume. Okay, here you see resume. We will help you to create your resume. That resume will be provided by us. We will give you one resume. That will be your kind of a Bible. That will be your uh, so before you start studying, we will give you a resume that will have those data that, okay, this is your projects which you have implemented in certain years. Okay, so we will give you a resume. You will change the resume with your own name, and the data should be same, because these are the projects which we are going to implement are aligned to the resume which we are giving to you. Okay, so that's the reason we are saying we are India's first resume-based learning platform. So here lab means here we are going to help you to create your own lab. Okay, so that you can help yourself to complete the projects. You don't have to be depending on us that we will give you a lab and there will be a timeline there. No, a lot of institutes do that, but we will help you to create your own lab so that you do not depend on anybody. You have your own lab and you start creating your completing your project. You can do that by seeing our videos which we will be teaching here. So now this is about us. Now, as I told you that we follow this 3-step process. So we'll be giving you a resume first. Okay, you will be very soon getting that resume. Then you will be implementing your resume with us with the help of projects which we have designed. Okay, and then you will start applying for job. It's a very logical way and a real way how any IT guy, any fresher, when they join a company, right? So that is the reason I'm actually explaining this in detail, because there are some 5 to 6 freshers are here. So do not worry. Okay, so if you know how to operate computer, where I can't help you, but then if you know how to operate your laptop, if you have a bachelor degree, okay, we have seen in past from our past students, they moved to IT, okay, seamlessly. There will be some problem that I experience and other those things, but then technically they will be sound. Okay, how? By implementing a project. So we will be creating your resume. You will be implementing the resume with us. Okay, because we will do the project with you. It's not that we will give you assignments and you have to do that. Okay, obviously we'll give you some assignments, but then the major thing is whatever we are doing here, you will have to do the same thing by seeing the video 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, doesn't matter how many times, till the time you have done that project without that video. Okay, the intention is first we will give you a reference point and then you do not use that reference point. Once you have done that, you are ready for applying for job. Very simple formula which we are applying in this particular. Now next, as I told that there are some assumptions. Okay, so assumptions are that we will be thinking that you have joined a startup. Okay, think like LWPLABS as an IT engineer and we are your mentor. Okay, no teacher, we are just mentor. We'll be explaining you few projects. As you join any IT company, there will be a senior, a mentor who will be giving you some projects and he will be guiding you. Similarly, we will give you and we'll guide you some projects. Okay, there are some projects pipeline which we are coming now. Okay, which we'll be implementing together. Okay, while implementing, we will get a real-time experience. Simple. So if you do not know coding language, don't worry. If you do not know anything about cloud, doesn't matter. Okay, we will teach you. If you do not know Linux, doesn't matter. So these are some basic things which you should know before you start DevOps. Okay, so DevOps is a kind of wrapper. Okay, before that. Okay, so if you do not know all these things, doesn't matter, because we have some real projects which you will be implementing maybe 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, as I told you, till the time you are clear with all those. Without the video, you will be able to do it. Okay, till the time you are able to do it, just understand the project, mark that project. Okay, by understanding, obviously, and create your resume, start applying for job. So here, let's understand about DevOps. So what exactly DevOps is? Okay, so before we go to this particular slide, any doubts here? Anybody have any doubt? You can ask in the chat window. I have my partner Gaurav in this particular. Sorry, I forgot to introduce Gaurav. So I have a partner in this particular course, Gaurav. Welcome Gaurav. He will be a partner in this particular course. There will be two faculties which will be assigned each and every course. Okay, so this particular course have two faculties, me and Gaurav. And if you have any doubt, you can ask here in the chat window questions, and Gaurav or me will be answering that. Okay. So if you do not have any questions, yeah, we will be answering those, Avinash. So projects, how many? But then, yeah, the question. Have you understood the style? Like how we are going to do? If there is no doubt, we'll move ahead. No doubt, like it's not that complicated explanation of that project oriented training, right? Okay. So there are some questions here in the chat window, like, do you support job placements? So I will be answering that very soon. Okay. We do support job placements in a way, yes. Okay. Now, how? You will understand. So be with me for 15 more minutes. Okay. And everything will be answered. Okay, fine. So now, with this slide, so let us understand what is DevOps. So I hope you all have our curriculum, right? This is our curriculum. So what is our course name? Our course name is Advanced Project-Based Program in DevOps on AWS for Infra Automation and Python scripting. This is what you are actually going to focus on. Here, we are not focusing only on the DevOps part. Okay, we are also focusing mainly, our focus will be mainly on the infrastructure automation. Okay, and Python scripting automation. Our focus will be this particular two parts. Okay, so DevOps have a lot of verticals. Okay, so here this you can consider as little advanced, but then we will start from zero. So those who are looking for, it's kind of a unique course. So those who are looking for starting up a career and with DevOps, if you do this particular training, so you will not just be an L1, L2, but you will be an L2.5, where you will know that infrastructure automation and Python scripting part as well. So here we have designed some projects, as I explained you all. Okay. So there are some project diagrams which are there. This curriculum we have shared you over the invite. Okay, check that. If not, okay, Emmanuel is going to share that again in the chat window, so you will be able to get that, this curriculum. Okay, open that curriculum. This is the curriculum which will be your kind of the entry point, and all things will be there. Okay, like what exactly projects you are going to do. So concentrate on this. This will help you to build your resume. Okay, so there are some projects which we have designed. Okay, again we are saying that zero to advanced, each and everything here is important to know. Even if you are zero, don't worry. As I told you, we will be able to cover you as well in this particular project. Think that you are a fresher who joined, a mentor will be guiding. So there are some projects. We have given some diagram. Okay, we will come to those diagram later. But then, if to understand this curriculum, so there are some major projects. That major projects will have some modules. That module will have some minor projects. So this, under the module which you can see, these are some minor projects. Okay, minor projects for understanding the topic. Major project is understanding the whole concept, whole integration of all the tools. Okay, so this is our major project which you will be understanding for understanding one particular a scenario which you will be explaining in your interview. And then your interviewer will go in depth and ask questions from, suppose, okay, GitHub Actions. Okay, he will ask from each and every tool also he will ask. So for answering that, there will be a minor projects. Okay, so suppose if you do not know, as I told you that this particular course have two prerequisites, which is AWS and Linux. Okay, so don't worry, we will be covering those things as well for you all. So as we will be covering the basic thing like cloud and Linux with some concept, okay, like we'll not be starting, okay, let's just study Linux. It is not our style. We will be covering this project. While we cover this project, we will be covering some Linux topic. And when I say cover, means we will go in depth and we'll understand that particular command. Linux, you don't have to understand each and everything. No, DevOps is a jack of all trade. You should be a jack of all trade guy. You should have a real experience. A real experience guy will not know each and everything. We'll just give you 5 years of experience. Okay. In that 5 years of experience, we will have some projects and you will be learning, suppose cloud as per DevOps, Linux as per DevOps. Okay. You don't have to learn as per system administration. Okay. Linux, you don't have to go in depth and deep dive. Okay. No, we will be explaining some commands but yeah, we will be going in depth for that particular command, right? The real experience. So we will be starting this module 4. Our first starting point will be this module 4. Like we will be running some application in a single node architecture. Then we'll be doing cost cutting. Maybe some of you are already a past student. You might have attended this and you might know these things. Okay. So if you don't know, if you are joined first time, so this all projects are sequential. So when you do this project, we are saying that, okay, there is a website, there is a user, there are some users. Okay. Users means suppose you are connected through your phone, some are connected from their laptop, and they are trying to open a page called LWPLABS.com. So my LWPLABS.com is running in an AWS, in AWS cloud. So what is this? It's a think like it is a public cloud, okay, where your server is hosted. Like you might know GoDaddy, okay, where GoDaddy you can go and host a server, right? Similarly, this is kind of a service. It is providing similar service, but then much more than that, where you can go and host a server. When I say host a server means create a server, create a computer, think like that, create a computer. That computer will run this particular application, which is LWPLABS.com. Okay. LWPLABS. So this is an application. What kind of application? Web application. So now with this, you understood that there are 2-3 kind of applications. If this is web application, what are the other kind of web applications? Can anybody tell me what are the other kind of applications? How many type of applications are there? Web application, and there is something called desktop application. Okay, so suppose this Slack is the desktop application, right? Suppose this is Slack. This is the desktop application. So I am not opening Slack over the web browser. So it's a desktop application. Now, what are the other applications? What is one more other application? Okay. No. Standalone application, distributed, that is okay. That is a different architecture you are talking about. But then what are the other type of applications? Type of applications?
Web application.
Web application, desktop application. What are the other? Mobile application, right? So we all use mobile also. So this guy connecting from phone, this guy connecting from laptop. Okay. So mobile, there will be a Google Play Store. You can download the app and you can use that, right? So think like this particular customer, which is your who is connecting from your phone, he will be opening a web browser. Okay, web browser. Web browser is what? Google Chrome. Think like Google Chrome. Okay, so I'm going 0. Okay, so he will be opening a Google Chrome and then he will be going here. So this kind of small things we will be explaining. Now this particular thing here, this guy will give this domain. The domain will point to the server. That server is having an IP address. Okay, suppose some IP. Now this IP is a public IP. Now what do you mean by private IP? So all these things we are covering in our class. So this is private IP. This is public IP. Now what do you mean by public IP? What do you mean by private IP of a computer? Okay, so we'll have to see this with an example. We'll see that. I'm not, today is just the first day. I'm not going in that depth. Okay, so C.1 is simple like this. C.2 is we have this kind of architecture. Many architectures are there like this. This is LWPLABS. Suppose this is abc.com. This is xyz.com. Now, how will you merge all these websites into a single server? Right? Now the other example is cost cutting in your company and merging multiple sites into one single server. Okay, so there is a cost cutting in your company. How will you merge all these sites into one single site? That means you will terminate all this and merge all the websites here. Okay, so that means your customer will connect to only this. And in this computer now there are 3 websites running. One is XYZ, another is ABC, and third is LWPLABS. Now how can you do that? So this is your example. So this is how we will be completing our course, okay, with some project example. Now here you are learning not just, okay, now you will say, how will I do this? We'll guide you from scratch. But here, what all things you will touch? You will touch Apache web server. Okay, Apache web server. You will know, okay, how to use your web browser. Now you will say, sir, it is so easy. What is there in web browser? But then we will learn what is this, the development tool of web browser. Okay, so this particular thing. What is this inspect thing? How can you use this network tab and troubleshoot? Then most of the issues, no. When you troubleshoot issues, you will be using this particular network tab a lot in your company. Now, how will you use this network tab when you type, suppose, something called LWPLABS.com? Okay, and how will you see these things? Okay, how this redirect is happening? This particular 301, what does that mean? What is this 200? All these things you need to understand. Who will guide you? We will guide you. So you will also learn web browser while you learn this particular minor project. So this module 4 is very, very important for all of you. Each and every module, every project will have some problem, and that problem will be covered with the other project. Okay, so one will have project problem. We'll be covering with C.2. So C.1 will have a problem. C.2 will be covering that. C.3. Now here, what is the problem in one single server? There are so many websites are running. Can anybody tell me what are the problems in this? We will be covering
single point of failure.
Sorry?
Single point of failure.
Single point of failure and all those problems. Yeah. So it's like very easy. So we will be covering all those things with C.3, where we will not have a single point of failure. Where we will architect some architecture where we'll have multiple nodes. Okay, in different availability zone. It means that you have you think that you have a hospital where you have a centralized AC, air conditioning. That air conditioning is happening with the help of one particular air conditioner. Okay, now if that particular is failed, you already know that it's a hospital. It is very, very important to have that air conditioning. So you will have a secondary backup also. If that is failed, we will have a second backup which will provide the air conditioning to the whole hospital. Okay, so this is kind of a failover scenario. Now, how can you have high availability, like where both the ACs are on and you are not giving pressure to one particular AC, but then you are giving pressure to like both, you are equally dividing the pressure. Okay, where suppose one air conditioner is not working, no problem, the other air conditioner will be running. So that is called high availability. So we will be understanding high availability, that is failover. So what is the basic difference between these two things? Okay, so all these 5 projects are very, very important for you to crack to have that foundation with you. if you are not able to do this, okay, then it's like very difficult to crack an interview, which we have seen in our past with our students. Earlier, we used to start with Git, just like other institutes. We will start from here and we'll try to complete our course with very easily in 40 hours. But no, we don't cover now in 40 hours. We give more time, like 10 more hours for covering this particular 5 projects. Okay, 50 hours. Sometimes it also extend to 55 hours. Okay, but then 50 hours is our, okay, that is what we say. 50 hours will complete our course. Sometimes it will increase to 55 hours based on how much you are understanding, how much doubt you have, okay, based on that. But yeah, I hope you all understood like why this particular projects are so important. Because if you do not do this project, if you do not have that manual understanding, all these projects are manual. Once you do this manually, not with any automation, then once we learn automation, you will know, okay, we have done this thing in manually, now we are automating. Now you have that particular reference point. Okay, so it will be very easy for you to crack an interview and then concept building and all those. So this particular 5 projects are most important projects. Do not take any break in this particular while we are covering this. Okay, you can take a break while covering GitHub or anything, but then this is very important. This is the foundation. Okay, now while we cover these things, we will also cover Linux. Okay, we'll also cover AWS. Suppose while we cover this particular cost cutting, C.3, as you have to understand the subnet things, okay, because we are doing high availability, we have to understand subnet availability zone. We will cover this VPC part. Okay, and while we cover this VPC, we will also do this migration project. Okay, where how we are migrating a web application from on-premise to public cloud in AWS. Okay, so to understand AWS, we will do this project where we cover this things, okay, till VPC until EC2. Now ACM, which is certificate manager, is covered in this project, C.4. Okay, secure a web application from hacker and SEO. So whatever we have mentioned in our curriculum, which is your Bible, okay, each and every topic will be covered, but with the help of project, not without any project. That's the idea, so that you can build your resume. Okay, that's why we are saying we are India's first resume-based learning programs. We'll be giving you resume tomorrow. Okay, maybe tomorrow we'll give you resume, or when the class will start, I think Emmanuel will share you the resume. Okay, over the Slack channel. So we do have Slack, so where we share our resume. So now, going back to the slides one more time. Okay, so DevOps is a culture which will break this particular wall between the dev team and the operation team. So do you have to do the development? No, we are not covering here the development. We are not cover here the Java and development, all those things. We are covering here the operation part. How a DevOps engineer role, okay, will help the development team. Okay, it's like development related operations. How it will be, how the operations which you will be doing, which will be helping the development team to deploy their developed product seamlessly. So if I draw and explain you, okay, so let me draw and explain you. So what does that mean? It means that there are developers here. This is your server computer, as I told you, and these are your customers. Okay, this customers wants to access this website. This developer wants to deploy the code, right? Deploy. This is development, right? Development. So they are developing a website. Suppose LWPLABS.com. Okay, when I say developing a website, means they are suppose they are doing these things, like they are keeping this particular thing. They are saying that, okay, if they click on this, suppose something in Grab, now what will happen? Okay, they are putting this chatbot kind of thing and all those plugins they are keeping. Okay, so this is development. So once they develop and test in their local environment, they will have to deploy in the server. Okay, computer. So computer is nothing but, suppose here server. Why it is server? Because it is serving traffic. This is traffic. Which traffic? User traffic. So server is serving user traffic. That is why it is server. Server is equal to computer. Okay. So now when you copy the code here, deployment. Now this particular thing here, we will be playing here. This is our part. Now how can we deploy? There are multiple ways to deploy. Multiple ways to create server. We will learn Kubernetes. Okay. How Kubernetes will create the cluster to create this particular server. Okay, so all these things is there in our particular curriculum. So we will create first this server with very simple way, manually to create EC2 machine. Later, we will use Terraform to create this EC2 machine. Okay, then this particular deployment we will do manually first. Then we will see how to use Ansible to do this deployment. How to integrate Ansible and Terraform together. Okay, how can we create a server and then call Ansible to complete this particular thing? So we have that example here. You see, this is our first project. Okay, here we used to teach with Jenkins. Now we will be replacing this Jenkins with GitHub Actions. Okay, because now GitHub Action is taking a lot of hype, and then we will be covering now with the GitHub Actions. Okay, how can we deploy things with this is our first major project. Okay, first major project. If you see the curriculum, this is our first major project. Deploying developed changes to production server using Git Actions or GitHub Actions by manual configuration of the server. Okay, so we'll be manually configuring the server with the help of module 4, and then we will use GitHub Actions to do that. Now, what is GitHub Actions? What is manual configuration of the server? Those who are freshers, believers, just go with the particular flow, okay, and you will be able to do it. Each and everything, this particular project you will be implementing, just focus on this particular diagram. Here you see there are diagrams here. The GitHub Actions, Terraform, Ansible, Packer, and all. This is a little complex, but then the much more simpler project is this particular one. Okay, where we will be using GitHub Actions. See this diagram, just replace Jenkins with GitHub Action. Developers will write, push somewhere, GitHub Action will deploy. This is just the foundation project. Now, then we will be seeing that, okay, how can we use Ansible to deploy it in multi-node? Okay, because in company like Flipkart.com, IRCTC, there are multiple servers. There will not be only one server. How can you create multiple servers on a fly? Suppose Flipkart.com announced a big billion day and there are more and more customers coming. How can you create servers on a fly? Now you might be knowing ChatGPT, right? Now ChatGPT is it's a AI tool, but now you know that how much load is there in ChatGPT. So many people are now trying to use ChatGPT and their server is getting slow. So you will be seeing sometimes it will be saying, wait for a while, we are scaling the server's backend. What they are doing, they are creating a server backend so that new customers can be served. Suppose you were here, okay, what they will do, okay, that means that the server is now behaving slow. What they will do, maybe when you write the new code, new search, they will push you here. Or when you refresh it, you will come here in the next server, which is created. So that server which is created, how will you create? Maybe you create a virtual machine. Maybe you use Kubernetes to create a new container. Okay. So how can you do all these things? We will be explaining you with the help of our project diagram. So when you do these things, okay, here Docker and Kubernetes, we will see those project diagrams. Okay. That how can we use Kubernetes to deploy things? In our curriculum also we do have it. Okay. And you will be seeing those things. Now, okay, before we go ahead, move forward, I just want to know from anyone, do you have any doubt? So somebody was asking here that will you help in job placement? Now, after doing this many projects, after creating a resume, and once you keep that resume in your Naukri.com, or if you're in India or in Monster, if you are outside, do you really think you need a help? These are all latest tools. Why exactly you need help? Okay. Even if you need help, post in our Slack channel. There are so many folks here. Okay. in general, people are ready to, you give me your resume, I will refer to my company. Okay, why? Because I will be getting money. If I refer, referral bonuses are there, right? So people are here. So many people are working in different companies. You share your resume over Slack channel. That's the reason we have created this community. People will refer you because they know that you know things. Okay, you show them that, and then you will get the job. Okay, and even if you don't require a referral, you just put in the naukri.com, okay, your resume, and start applying job. 4 to 5 interviews you have to give. Again, in the first interview, don't think it's a fairy tale movie, you will be able to crack an interview in the very first event. No, you have to get that confidence in the interview. What I have seen in our past, 4 to 5 interviews you have to give. Okay, and every interview you record your voice and the interviewer voice recording, so that they know that after the interview, you know how you are responding, and you know all the questions, so that you can work on those things and go for the next interview. Okay, so learn from your past interview, and that is how everybody will crack a job. I crack a job, a lot of other people crack the job. Okay, so you have to do that. Not in very first event you will be able to crack. So yeah, so I hope this is done. Then we also have shell scripting here. We will be learning a little bit of shell scripting. Okay, we will be using that GitHub Actions. We will be learning Terraform here. In Terraform, we'll have 3 projects which we'll be covering. Okay, the diagram is above. Here we will be also using Terra test. Okay, guys, this is very important. We will be using here Terra test. So that, now what is Terra test here? So you know that Terraform is going to create a server, provision a server, right? Now, once they provision a server, you have to test also. So automated test for your infrastructure code. So you are creating the code for creating this infrastructure. So this infrastructures you will be creating with the help of code. Now, as this is code, there will be changes in the code. Okay, that is called revisions. So you will be changing the code. There will be new version of the code. So as there are new version of the code, you have to have an automated testing platform as well. So how will you do that? With the help of Terra test. Okay, so we will be implementing this Terra test as well. I can guarantee you that not seen yet, not any institute is covering this yet. Okay, that whole test cycle of the infrastructure as a code, which we'll be doing here. So we'll be explaining you from scratch how to write a Terraform code. We'll also explain you how to test that code. Okay.
I have doubt here.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are the resources you are covering through the Terraform? Only EC2 mission?
No, we are covering projects. So the other projects here you see.
No, my question is with Terraform.
We are creating, with Terraform only. We are creating Kubernetes cluster. Okay, we are creating Terraform and Ansible and Packer. We have some project which we have designed. That particular project we'll be covering. So if you go down.
No, I mean to say, like, we have multiple resources services in the AWS, right?
EKS.
Like, not talking about the EKS. Like we have auto scaling, like load balancers, security groups.
Yeah, these are basics which we'll be creating. Like when we create EC2 machine, we can create an auto scaling group and we can do that, right? We'll be creating a VPC. When we create VPC, see this is a full stack. Okay, so Gaurav, you are there?
Yes.
You want to answer? Because I
Yeah. So Kiran, in this particular course, that is major project, like major projects are there, which we will be covering. So in this one will be creating the 3-tier architecture, where will be a web server, application server, and RDS will be connected to that. And there will be a load balancer in front of this. And those servers will be managed through auto scaling group. And the traffic to the load balancer will be coming through the DNS. So we will be having the Route 53 as well. So each and every component which is required for this 3-tier architecture will be created using the Terraform.
So
Yes,
Gaurav,
we
his
are-
question is more that, okay, what all resources we are covering? So as you
So-
answered,
Yeah.
Yes, he answered because with the Terraform, we are like connecting EC2, auto scaling, RDS, DNS, right?
Right.
So we are putting everything to Terraform, right?
Mhm.
project.
Yeah.
Think
Three
about the project we are covering. So you focus on this project now and the diagram. So once whatever is there in that project, we will be covering everything. Okay.
Rahul, like one doubt even I have, like similar to what he has asked previously. So, like the complete landing zone, like creation of the virtual networks and the resource groups creation. So, all those deployments will be happening by making use of Terraform, is it?
Right. So here you see. So we are creating, first of all, you know, right? The first thing which we will be creating what in the whole cloud, which we should create
It will be a
VPC.
virtual.
VPC.
Yeah.
the VPC thing, right? So we'll be creating VPC, we'll be creating suppose some IAM roles to those, okay? And then we'll be also creating the infrastructure, right? Resources where the services will be running, where the application will be running. And obviously these are some supporting things which will be like load balancers and all those auto scaling. These are supporting things which will be automatically created, right? Mainly, that is why I was saying, suppose if you want to create EKS, now for EKS, there's so many things to be created, right? Okay, so all these things will be created with the help of Terraform. But mainly we have to focus on the project architecture. Like, okay, by just creating a Terraform, is it going to work? No. We have to use Ansible also. Why? Because, okay, we will create a server. Now you go and purchase a home. Will you go and start staying there without doing an interior decoration? No, right? So you will be creating a server and you will be configuring a server. So provisioning, okay, which is nothing but creation. Those who are freshers, for them, okay, creation of suppose computer, okay, or server. And then there is something called configuration, which is nothing but think like decoration. Okay, the interior designing of that particular flat. Okay, configuration of that particular resource. Okay, that can be EC2, that can be now inside the EKS. You will be creating a Docker image by calling an Ansible playbook. Okay, and that image you will be pushing it to the ECR and all those things. Okay, so how we will do with the help of one project diagram. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to explain. So focus on the projects, not the small thing.
Yeah, my final question, what I'm expecting here is like, I know the like
will also be there.
Sorry, one by one. I think two people are talking. Just one person, can you mute yourself? Yeah, go ahead. Now, who was talking?
Yes, Kiran here.
Hey, Kiran, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm working as I started working as a DevOps engineer recently. But I know like extension knowledge in each tool, but I don't know how to implement in the project. That's the reason I and this. Will it help me?
Right. Yeah, got it. So you are saying not getting calls interview. Someone, Kiran only.
Yes, myself only. Yeah.
Okay, now you are
As per the market,
as he answered, right? You will get the call now. I don't know why you are not getting. A lot of people are giving interview. DevOps is a hot cake. If you type just in DevOps, so many. I am taking interview for so many companies. Okay, my people are taking interview because we are tied up with a lot of companies. So I don't know. Maybe there is some problem. You can share your resume. We can check. Maybe some skill set you have to add in your Naukri.com, which HRs generally they don't know this much. They just see the skills. If your Naukri profile is not updated correctly, you will not get calls. Okay, so you have to update. Resume is not the main thing. The main thing is that skills which we add. Okay, I don't know. I forgot about Naukri.com much, but then they used to add skills and all. Okay, skills you have to add, right? Okay, so you will get calls. because a lot of students are getting, okay, which is what we know. Okay, so now where we were doing this. Now once we know there's particular or provisioning and configuration, now you have to do day-to-day task also, right? That day-to-day task, how will you automate? With the help of Python scripting. So we are focusing mainly on those things, guys. Yeah, I hope you understood. Okay, the provisioning part, the configuration part, and the day-to-day task. So you will be saying the interview that, okay, you will not say every day and night you are writing a playbook. Okay, don't say that. You will change something in the playbook. You will change something in the Terraform. Maybe a security group need to be added. Maybe a NACL need to be added. Okay, a new integration is happening with suppose some integrated tool, suppose maybe Informatica. Okay, and then particular that Informatica, there is some port which you need to open. For that particular thing, you need to open a NACL group. That's kind of story you should be building. So those who are freshers, you will not understand this NACL, Informatica, and all those. But then, okay, what we are saying, think that you have created something, you have purchased a home, but then now you have to do some small changes. Maybe your kitchen is a closed kitchen, you have to open the kitchen, open kitchen. Okay, now you will break those things, right? A little bit to break the door and all those, so that you can open the door of the kitchen, and it will be open kitchen. That is like small changes in your infrastructure. Same small changes in your resources. So if this is your resource which you build through Terraform, there will be small changes which you will be doing. Okay, small changes which you will be doing. Those small changes also you will be saying that it is my day-to-day task. Okay. Inside this resources, there will be some task which will be doing day and night, which is kind of a bad job. How will you do that automation? With the help of Python scripting. Okay, like automatic mail alert when instance state is reached to stop, using an AWS Lambda and SNS stop. Okay, so here what we are learning, we will be learning here Python scripting from scratch, and you will do some project. Now you keep that project, ditto copy karke dalo, means copy the whole project and put it in your CV and tell the same thing in your interview. Do not say again hi-fi things. For now, say that these are the projects which I have done with the help of Python scripting. Do you know Python scripting? Yes, I know. I have done 2-3 projects. Now, what are the projects you have done? These are the projects I have done. Can you write a small piece of code for me? Yes, I can write a small piece of code. This is what you have to tell in your interview. Okay, they will give you some small project, small script, you will write it. DevOps interview is this only. Okay, they will not ask you to write full complete thing. They will not ask you to write a Lambda function in front of you, because people don't have time. 30 minutes to 45 minutes is max interview time, okay, which we have. In that, you have to say very confidently that, okay, this is the project which I have done. And okay, do I have that experience? Yes. Okay, so this is the project which you will be doing from scratch. We will be explaining you and you will be implementing it. And now finally, we will also study Docker, how to build a Docker image, how to do the same project which we have done in module 4 C.3, run a Java project on a Tomcat server and integrate with Apache. This we will be doing with the help of Docker also. This project 1 and project 2 we have done in module 4. Okay, with manually here C.2 and C.5, which we'll be doing with the help of Docker. So that you know, okay, how to use Docker, how to build an image, how to push an image, how to create some port mapping, volume mapping, how to attach, stop, inspect, all those basic things you will be doing. Okay, once you do that, you will start jumping into EKS cluster. You will create the EKS cluster. Okay, and you will monitor it through the Prometheus and Grafana. But then in this 50 hours, our main focus is what? Not to teach you EKS, guys. Okay, don't again focus on only on EKS. Our focus is on to cover mainly on Python scripting, Ansible, and Terraform, and this auto infrastructure as a code. That because that is the program name. Okay, program name is what? Go top here. DevOps on AWS for infra automation and Python scripting. Okay, somebody asked how many projects? 22 real-time projects. How many? Now you should not as projects, tools and all. How much experience you will get? 5 years of experience you will get from us. Put that 5 years of experience. Start applying for job. Take your stories with us, with you. Okay, with whatever we are giving you the stories, take your stories in this 50 hours. If you're not understanding, ask those stories again. Create your CV or resume. Start applying for job. There are so many jobs. Okay, if I just go to Naukri and if I search, you will get so many jobs. Okay, someone can share. I don't stay here. I recently came. So my all Naukri profiles I have actually disabled. Okay, I am staying in US. Recently came here 2 months. I will be going back. So now I Naukri profile and all those things are not there because they used to send mail. So now what you do, you go and type in front of me naukri.com and go to monster.com maybe. Okay, and you will get job. Okay, I don't know why people are not getting calls. Is this for everyone? Anyone tried for DevOps interview here and they are not getting calls? Because our so many batches are running. Everybody is trying to get job, and yeah, so many. So GCP is there, DevOps on AWS is there. So many people are trying to get job, and that's the reason we are actually running our company. Okay. So somebody asked, what is Docker? Docker is nothing but containerization tool. It will think like it is going to create a server. Somebody asked that. So server, which is computer, think like it's a small computer which is not have its own operating system, which will inherit the operating system from the host operating system. So this is your Windows machine. Think like that. There is a CentOS Docker container. Okay, it will only have library and little binary, the flavor, but then the kernel it will use here. So it's a lightweight operating system. Lightweight, not operating, lightweight server. It can be as small as 10 KB. For you to make it easy, think like it's a server now. Okay, but we call it as a container, guys. Okay, so guys, see, thing is, you have to understand that DevOps is now market leader. Okay, this particular job, DevOps job. I don't know. There are so many jobs. Why? Because a Linux administrator, because there are so much cloud thing coming into picture. In cloud, everything is automated, right? Everything is they created for them, for you to use. Now, how will you use it? If you should know, they created for you. You don't have to hire a special system administrator to understand that particular thing, or backup engineer to do the backup. Previously in on-premise you used to do, or we used to do. Now a DevOps engineer will be the only one person, a team of a lot of people who will be doing all this tasks, and that is why the payment is high. That is why you have to go into that DevOps role. If you are not going now, maybe you will be forced to go. You will be called as an SRE, you will be called as a DevOps engineer, and then finally you will be forced to go. That is why there are so many job openings only on DevOps. Okay, so guys, Emmanuel shared a WhatsApp group. Okay, let me share it again here. Join this WhatsApp group if you still have doubt. Okay, this class timing will be the same timing, 7:30, guys. Okay, we have 4 more minutes. I would be keeping this open so that you can ask some questions from Gaurav. So let me introduce Gaurav. Gaurav is our senior trainer in our company, okay, who is expert in Terraform, Ansible, automation. Whatever automation you say, Gaurav is expert in that, okay, and he is going to be a part of it. We are very much proud of it, and then he will be covering all this automation part, okay, for you all. Okay, this Terraform automation and all those things with the help of certain projects which we have designed. Okay, this will be 50 hours course, but then don't take it literally. It can be 55 hours max. Okay, 55 to 56 hours. 22 real-time projects, 5 years experience, beginners to advanced. Means zero knowledge you should have. Still we are okay, but then you should not say I don't know how to send a mail, how to use Slack channel, okay, how to log into how to open a Google browser. If you do not have that operation experience, okay, then that little laptop experience, okay, how to use laptop and all, then it will be difficult for us. Except that everything is okay, we will take care. Okay, the technology part we will take care, but then you should know this basic things. So let us take a question from a fresher. Any fresher who want to ask any question, you do not, you have some doubt, go ahead and ask. We will be able to answer you. Yeah. We are waiting for it. Pressure, I know it will be overwhelming for you, but yeah, you can ask. We'll try to solve. Don't worry that, okay, if you do not understand much, lot of things, think that there are some projects I have to implement it. And that is how we'll get a job. But that's it. Even if you have some gap, try to take some experience from some company and try to fill that gap. Okay. If you want to move into IT, a lot of students have done. Okay. But I don't know how will you take that experience. But you have to take your experience from somewhere. But we'll give you knowledge experience. Okay. And you can even move from that. I'm not suggesting you, but it's your wish again. Okay.
So
Hi, Rahul.
Hey, hi.
This is Nikhil Rahul. Rahul, I just finished my MTech in 2016. So now I'm working with continue with the